Welcome back to another episode of Unbound Being. Today I'll be talking a little bit about, what happened to me, and, what changed me, what moves me, and a little bit of history. I mean, I will go into this in other videos as well, but for this short one, I'll just say the following, right? I come from a very good background. I had a really good family. My parents are still together today, and they love each other. And they've helped us in all the ways that they possibly could, and they're still helping us in the ways that we could. So I really had a good youth, right? And I'm really blessed to have that youth. And still, somehow, at the age of 19, I didn't feel satisfied. I was discontented, and I didn't know why, but I knew that I had so much, and yet I was discontented. So I had to find out what that was. And it took me a couple of months to try to figure things out, and really I couldn't. That was the funny part. I couldn't figure things out. I was thinking about all the psychologists and possible people that could help me, and I knew that most of those people didn't have much to help me. So at one point, I was so frustrated that one night I just gave up thinking, gave up trying to figure this out with my mind. And at that moment, I had some very clear insights. I kind of surrendered to the moment. I became still without knowing what it was. I didn't know anything about it that time. And it's much like if anybody you are familiar with Eckhart Tolle, he has a story like that as well. And mine it might be a smaller version of it, but it is similar and almost identical in that sense that I was so tired of trying to figure out what was wrong, why I was unhappy, that I just dropped and exhausted. And just in exhaustion just gave up, and then I just saw things and I felt a life in me, and I felt great about things, and I was like, wow, what's going on? So after that I decided to go into a bookstore, and I looked for a couple of books, and I found several books, of which one was just right on the dot, explaining how our own mind is our biggest enemy, how our own mind is not what we are. We are the being within. We're not the thinking. I mean, we have a thinking mind, and we can use the thinking mind. But when it starts becoming the tyrant, when your thinking mind becomes your enemy, because it starts saying that it is in control of everything, and it actually does. I mean, for most people, and that's why our planet is in such a dire situation in many ways, is the mind, the ego structure, basically, the thinking monkey mind that can't stop for most people, but jibber jabber from the moment you wake up, and even in sleep, till the time you go to bed. That thing took my life over, and it was trying to figure out the incredible essence of what I really am, and it couldn't, because it was just going around in circles and in circles. So then I basically had a very long period of at least a decade where my life was just thriving and always being still in the moment and trying to keep my mind as small as it can. And I met my wife, and my first two children were born, and I moved to Spain, and there were a lot of things that were just, and basically everything I did was really thriving. And then I came to this island where I live now, and I started a big project which was quite intense because I had to focus on a lot of aspects. And I realized at a certain point when the economy collapsed in 2007-8, I started to research why the economy could even collapse. And that's really where the negativity got hold of me again, and I started to focus on, financial collapse and possible end of the world scenarios with the whole 2012 things that were popping up, and possible earth changes and all kinds of things, and it really got at me. And I thought I could handle it, right? Because I came from this over a decade thriving situation of beauty and joy and pleasure and stillness. I didn't feel like I could not handle the truth, so I started to focus on it. But really what I did is I started to focus my ideas, my thoughts, my intentions, my energies onto negativity. And as I did so, it started to flow into negativity. And my life started to convert without me knowing it, but slowly over the years I started to go back down, and bringing everything along me down as well with it. So at a certain point, I really was in a dark place, and in these dark places, we've all been there. You've been there, and if you haven't, then I hope you never do, because these dark places seem like they are, you can't get out of them at certain times. And I never thought it could happen to me, but it did. So I decided, I really got to get myself out of this again. And I realized, wow, you really allowed yourself to go with these negativities, with these thoughts, with these ideas, and focused my attention on all the things that were going wrong in the world. And they are. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. The facts are the facts, and they certainly seem like that is the way. But the most important thing is that we are unbound beings. Within, we are the essences of what we are meant to be. We are spiritual creatures. We are unbound, infinite consciousness. And when we focus on the negativities and the physicalities and the realities that, although they seem real, at least they're actualities that are taking place usually on TV and other places, because I've never seen murder in front of me or anything. But you start to focus on that, and you start to get down. And I realized that that's not the way to go. So now I've been taking myself back up again, and I'm focusing on those things that keep you unbound. Because as strong as we sometimes seem, and as strong as some people seem, it's a really humbling experience when you're down, when you realize that the negativities got hold of you and basically your own demons are pulling you apart, which is mostly self-created. And in that sense, everybody's journey's got that. And I hope that I can help you from the journeys that I've had in my life, at least two big dippers, as I would call them, big dark phases, chapters in my life, and coming back out of that. And this time I'm intent on really thriving to the best of my ability, which in many ways I already am, and that's the things I will be sharing with you, but I want to really go to the place where, the sun always shines, say, right? So I hope that gave you a little bit of an idea of what I'm about and where I came from, and I hope I can help you either stay away from that place, or if you do need that place, because sometimes we do, that I can help you have some of the tools that would get you back out of that, and keep your mind focused on those things that are constructive, that are good, because finally the people that have their mentality on solutions and on positivity and on saying, okay, well, I'm going to build this thing which I want to see, instead of saying, this is what's going on, because you really get engulfed into that and you get swallowed up by it. And then after a while you realize you become the very thing you fear so much. And that's not what we want to be as unbound beings. As unbound beings, we love focus on that which is good. See the solutions, even if it's one step at a time, and go there. Focus our attention on it, because where attention goes, energy flows. So what you acknowledge, you get. So focus on what you would love to get. Feel the abundance, feel the gift that you've been given, and know that life is good, and allow that dream of where you would love to go manifest itself through the positivity of your focus and being here now as an unbound being as much as you can, and drawing towards yourself by the law of attraction, as they say, right? Drawing onto yourself those things that you would love to manifest. So thanks for watching another episode of Unbound Being, and hope to see you next time. Take care.